And so I really wanted to take a few days and like make this video, and I wanted to do it right, but I realized there's really no right way to do this. I'm officially done being a moderator for Growtopia. Welcome everybody to another video. My name is ShadowSurfer, and it's been a pretty long time since my last upload, guys, and I'm incredibly sorry about that. That's sort of the first thing I want to address in this video. Since the start of YouTube for the past 2.5 years or so, I've never had more than like a week off from uploading. I've always been very strict on making sure I have one video out per week, but this time I decided I really I don't know, I needed sort of like a personal break, and it's been really nice to have like over 2 weeks off from not uploading or even worrying about YouTube. It's been really good for like my mental health and allowing me to like just focus more on other things. I've also been pretty sick like the past week as well. You can probably hear it in my voice, so that's part of the reason I've taken this long off. But either way, guys, I don't even know how to like really address this, but as you can see by the title of the video, I am no longer a moderator for Growtopia. And that's something I really never thought I would have to say, at least for a while now. I always would tell people that I was gonna stay a mod and be sort of a figure in the community until the game dies. That's really what I would tell people. But things change, you know, and like events happen, and I guess sort of I've changed my mentality. I don't know, I guess the best way to show it would just be to hop in game real quick. Now I actually have not even logged in since my moderator status was removed, so this is gonna be the first time I see my name without the good old @ symbol and the pink name. I don't know how to feel about it. Okay, I need an update. Great. Alright, here we go. We should be good now. Okay, there we go. Updating items, and hopefully we'll be able to hop right in. Oh, are we in? Oh, there we go. And there is the name, boys. I have not seen this name in quite some time. I first became a mod in 2014, so I haven't really seen this name since like 2014. It's been a very long time. Also, a lot of you guys were asking me if I was gonna keep my mod item. Obviously, I keep my mod item. It's not like they're gonna take it away from me. But yeah, I'm basically just a regular old guy now with no mod powers, so it's gonna take a lot to get used to. So yeah, I definitely want to address a few things regarding me not being a mod anymore for Growtopia. So first thing is that it was a voluntary move by me, so I basically just resigned on my own. There's a lot that sort of went into that decision, and I'll talk about that in this video, but it's not like they went and sort of just removed my mod powers without me being like, I want these removed. It was definitely a decision by me to sort of just step down. And it's something I didn't really expect to happen this soon. I really expected me to be a mod for really just as long as possible until the game sort of crashed. But certain events sort of led to my decision to leave, and it's definitely 100% the right decision for me. And also, I'm not coming back. Like, this is a permanent move. I'm not going to be a mod ever again. So now on to really just why I left, and it's sort of I sort of want to preface this by saying I don't want any bad hate towards Ubisoft. They've done a lot of good for me, and they've done a lot of good for the game. And I don't want anyone to go on and just indirectly just hate Ubisoft and like type them hate messages for this. That's definitely not what I want. I'm really just going to give you sort of my perspective and my sort of opinions and what really led me to the decision to leave. So it sort of just started back, I guess right when Ubisoft took over. So everyone really had high hopes for Ubisoft once they bought the game from Seth and Hamumu. And they really, I don't know, they seemed like they were going in the right direction, but there was sort of this really weird dynamic between us as the mods and Ubisoft as a whole. The 1.0 mods, we have a lot of experience in the game. We're some of the most experienced players in Growtopia. And really to have a company step in that isn't as experienced as us was sort of weird, having just sort of this transition from Seth and Hamumu to a company that has a lot of different moving parts. And that's sort of where that disconnect sort of started. I definitely noticed an immediate difference in how things were going to be from here on out. So the entire first year was sort of really just, honestly, it was just weird. Like I said, that's where this disconnect sort of started. It sort of felt like when we would give feedback to Ubisoft, they wouldn't really listen to us at all. Well, actually, hold on. Let me backtrack. They would listen to us, right? But they would say they were working on it or whatever that meant. And it just kind of felt like there were a lot of empty promises that were not brought to fruition. And I don't know, that just sort of had me starting to really just drift away from being a mod and even drift away from the game. It made me not really enjoy what I was doing in the game, which I didn't think was very good. Some of that stuff has been fixed recently, but first impressions matter, you know? And they sort of ruined that for me, at least, in terms of them making open promises and then executing very poorly on a lot of the things that they did. And it was also very weird having a lot of different employees for Ubisoft come in and out, specifically the community manager. They went through a lot of community managers, at least in the first half of them owning the game. And that was just sort of weird for me and just made me feel like the game wasn't in a stable place. And really on top of that, I would go into game, do all my moderator stuff, like ban people, curse people, do all that. And it really just felt like I had no effect on the game. And it really felt like I was sort of just going in game and pretending everything was alright, even though I really felt like it wasn't. But like I said, guys, I really don't want any hate thrown towards Ubisoft, or at least the visible Ubisoft staff members like Neko Ray, Karos, Azario. There's this really weird sort of dynamic of them and then their upper management, who I'm pretty sure make most of the really important and big decisions. And I feel like just their management doesn't really know much about the game. And it just makes for this really weird sort of environment and dynamic that I can't just really explain by telling you guys. It's just sort of, I don't know, I just felt out of place being in it. So now let's fast forward. I don't exactly know the time, but they announced the 2.0 mods initiative that they had. And obviously we knew that we needed more mods. But it's very difficult to choose people who are worthy to be moderators for the game. Seth and Hamumu would choose moderators in very small batches, 3 moderators every 6 months or so. It would be very infrequent because it's very hard to choose people to trust with that amount of power in the game. And so they started this 2.0 mods initiative, and that just, to me at least, sort of felt like a stab in the back to sort of what we have built. Obviously we needed new mods. I understand that for sure. But to sort of just bring in a bunch of new mods and not have proper training behind them just seemed very dangerous for the game. I mean, it ended up pretty well. None of them stole stuff from players or whatever. But at the same time, there were some mods in that batch that I and a lot of the 1.0 mods were heavily against being moderators, and that sort of was just another sort of stepping stone into me leaving, was them adding people to the mod team that I was completely against being a mod, and that I felt was not a fit to be a good moderator. And I'm gonna be honest, I feel like if Ubisoft were to come to us and ask them to train these moderators, we would have done an exceptional job because we've done it for years. We've trained mods who have been hired by Seth and Amumu, and we've taken them under their wing and shown them really how to be a good representation of the community. And it felt like once the 2.0 mods were added, they were given very few guidelines, and it just sort of felt like they were bouncing around doing whatever they wanted. I don't know. That's just how I felt. All of this, I want to bounce off that this is just my opinion, right? This is just my opinion and sort of the steps that led me to my decision to leave. So along with the 2.0 mods, they have the Game Guardians, and again, they added people in the Game Guardians that I just was so against them being mods. It was some of these people are so just not fit for the position. And I'm not talking about half of them. I'm literally talking about 2 people basically. But yeah, also I don't know, it's just sort of you would see some of even the Ubisoft mods go in game and just have no guidelines and just goof off and not be a professional representation of what the 1.0 mods built in terms of how a mod should act and what we really should be doing for the community. And on top of that, once the 2.0 mods were added, it was sort of just this weird, like, they were 100% just a different entity than us. And even I haven't talked to a majority of them. Literally, I haven't talked to them at all. I don't know if that was really what they were told to do, but I don't know. It was very clear to me that they wanted us to have very little contact with their new batch of moderators. So I don't know, that's sort of the biggest thing in terms of why I left. Once the 2.0 mods were added, they created another Discord chat, and sort of, I don't know, it felt like we were left in the dust almost. But also that's sort of mutual because I don't know, I definitely sort of drifted apart from them by this point, and really I should have left at that time, but I sort of stayed to see how things would pan out. And yeah, it was slowly just us drifting away from each other. And yeah, the next few months kind of just sucked. I did very limited like moderating in the game, and eventually I got to the point where I was being very vocal of my disapproval of a lot of the things that were going on social media, which I guess in hindsight it was sort of a mistake. But eventually it got to the point where I put up this particular Instagram story, but I was basically confronted by a Ubisoft staff member. And let me say this, I was confronted by a Ubisoft staff member, one that I had just the utmost respect for in the community. A person who I really felt like was one of the very few shining good lights that have happened since the acquisition of Growtopia by Ubisoft. So this particular person came to me and told me that the post that I put out was considered defamation of the entire Ubisoft staff. I mean, the person said more in it, but basically at the end asked me if I wanted to be a moderator anymore. And I sort of took a few days to think about it, and it sort of just felt like the last person that truly felt like had my back and like the 1.0 moderators' backs, I sort of lost their respect and lost their, I don't know, it would have been a very toxic sort of relationship for me to stay on the team if there was this sort of conflict going on between us. And so it was very obvious that I was very against the things that were happening in the game, basically, like a lot of the things that I mentioned in the video. And so I took a few days and decided that it was really best for me to just split ways and not associate with the moderator team anymore, or Ubisoft. And so I really wanted to take a few days and like make this video, and I wanted to do it right, but I realized there's really no right way to do this. I'm officially done being a moderator for Growtopia. It really sucks, like it really does. It's been over 5.5 years of me being a moderator, and I feel like I've done a lot for the community. And it kind of sucks that it had to end the way it did, but it's healthiest for me right now that I'm no longer a part of that team anymore. So what's gonna be left in the future for me? I really just sort of want to take a few steps back and sort of reevaluate what I want to do with Growtopia and with YouTube. I've started a few different projects here and there, some that I really enjoy, and I feel like I'm not going to quit the game. I definitely still want to play the game, and I definitely still want to make YouTube videos on it, because that's still something I'm really passionate about, but I'm sort of just going to, I don't know, I feel like I need to take a step back and take a breather and sort of figure out what I want to do. So I hope you guys stay on this YouTube channel, because more videos are going to be coming, more Growtopia videos, may do other stuff, I don't know yet. But yeah, I put out an Instagram post, and the feedback since I left the team has been like insane. Like I 5.5 years, it really didn't feel that long, but after you see these messages of people who I've truly affected in a positive way, it's nice to see that my actions have sort of resonated in a positive light with a lot of different people. And it was awesome to see sort of the people thanking me for a lot of the effort that I put into the game, because I've really put my heart and soul into making sure that I was a good figure for a lot of the young kids in the game and making sure this game was as great as it could possibly be. So yeah, I obviously want to thank Seth and Mumu for the opportunity. They're probably not watching this video, but the opportunity to be a mod changed my freaking life. Like, you guys don't realize how much it's changed for me, but it's changed my life in every way possible, almost. This game has sort of had an amazing effect on me, and I'm not quitting yet, but this is sort of the end of a huge chapter in my life. And I also want to thank the 1.0 mod team, the people who I grew up with. I came into the mod team as the second youngest moderator on the team, and I've been the youngest mod for quite some time now, like active mod. And it's been awesome having these people as mentors for me, because they're some of the smartest and most caring people I've ever met, and I'm so glad to be able to work alongside them for so long. And I'm always going to keep in touch with them for as long as I can. So yeah, this is sort of the end for me. At least for my moderator career. It just sucks, man. It sucks that it had to end this way, because I don't know. I don't know. I thought I was gonna last a lot longer on the mod team, but things change, you know. But if this has taught me anything, is that once one door closes, another one opens. So you just gotta keep moving forward, you know. So I hope to see you guys soon. I know this was probably a longer video than you guys expected, but I really just wanted to put all my thoughts out there and sort of just give a full-on explanation of why I'm no longer a part of the team that I've been a part of for the past 5.5 years. So I hope you guys stick with me. There's going to be a lot more videos coming, and yeah, thank you so much for the kind messages. I try to reply to every single one of them I get on Instagram. It's been amazing. It's been a wild ride as a moderator, but my time has come to an end. But now a new chapter opens where I'm able to enjoy the game finally as a regular player. It's going to be quite an experience. I hope you guys are along for the ride. And yeah, this has been ShadowSurfer signing out. See ya!